Alright y'all, I've been mentating over something for a while. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's a new health diet craze that I've created myself. Here it is. It's called Meatavore Veganism. Yeah, so my latest health craze diet thing is Meatavore Veganism. Are you loving it? Yeah, Meatavore Veganism. Alright, sorry. Probably a fourth time will even get me. Oh, look, we can eat those pandanus. See they're bad ones? That's why it took me so long to do that video of eating the pandanus the other day, if you didn't see the mukbang. Anyway, so yeah, Meatavore Veganism. So basically, what the hell is that then? Oh, it's a monstrosity, a novelty that I personally created out of the alchemical laboratory of the brain of the Ben. So anyway, it's, you know, I've been going to the gym. I'm back in Australia. First time I've ever been to a gym. I never used to go to the gym. I've only ever just free bike or what? I've only ever just surfed. I haven't ever joined a gym. So I've been there for like 3 months, right? I've been bulking up, and for that I was eating a lot of saturated fat. I actually ate bacon and egg burgers every morning, or like a wrap. So I'd never been into bacon before, and that's the worst meat as well, because it's the dirtiest. Pigs eat anything, you know what I mean? It's just the dirtiest meat, but also fattens you up, right? And I wanted all the very long lasting, long burning stuff there, because I'm there every morning like 2 hours, don't forget. So it's not just like I go do a shitty gym session. It's solid 2 hours every day. I'm starting to get some serious results and actually look like I'm going to a gym 3 months later. And I'm not saying this is a good thing about the saturated fats, but it just so happened to make me realize that I've done this before. When I was vegan, I suddenly, like, I remember when I was getting into it, I would go ahead and have to go get like a meat pie, like a beef meat pie, like a curry beef meat pie. That was my like chosen one. I like the curry beef, and it was good because I was surfing all the time. And remember, I'd surf up to 4 hours again. I'm not going out there to chat to people, I'm paddling and catching waves, which means doing push-ups and stuff as well, right? For 4 hours. Like, I commonly surf that long. That's not like some super session. I once surfed 7 or 8 hours in Western Australia. That was a super session. All day. Literally, I just kept surfing. It was amazing. Anyway, sorry about that, the camera keeps disappearing. So what I was saying was, I remember doing this before, going meat, and stacking up. I remember when I first was learning veganism, like, and I was not as good as I became at it after like 2 years, right? But at the start, I'd have to regress a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't just go hard up and change any diet, because the reason some animals have evolved is because they've evolved a certain way because of what they're eating. You know what I mean? It affects the biology like massively, and vice versa. But my point is, like, you're like locked into your diet in a way. You have certain bacteria to break it down, etc. That's why, like, a lot of fat people, and generally our society, their gut bacteria they do have gut bacteria, because some people will be like, oh, you need you know, kombucha or kefir, start a colony, which is fantastic, and they're the best colonies. But what everybody already has, which is the epidemic, is the sugar bacteria. And so if you eat sugar after you eat meat, it's not just dilating you, you know, that's what's fucking breaking down all the food for you. Because that's the society that we have. We have sugar everywhere. But if, say, we had fruit everywhere, and we were eating wild fruit and then having kombucha and kefir, we'd have completely different stomach bacteria, and that would be the positive type, and we wouldn't age as much. People would, like everyone would look like 20 years younger at every stage of their, every decade of their life, just from changing the good to good stomach bacteria. The kombuchas and the kefirs and that, but that's if we did it properly, like when we had fruit growing here instead of ornamental plants. You know what I mean? It's too hard to maintain in a sugar society unless you have some fucking money or you make it yourself, which is what I recommend. Learn how to make kefir. We did that in Uruguay and I loved it. That was my favourite water kefir, and kombuchas are great too. You got to make sure you brew your kombucha right so it's not just like too sugary, because some of the commercial ones, they leave it sugary. Do you love the forest rides? I love them. So nice, isn't it? So actually might take my shirt off, but I want to continue lecturing, but otherwise my shirt's gonna stink. What were we even talking about? Oh yeah, meatavore veganism. I love it. When it came to me, I was like, yep, video. Oh, I can't get over it. The vegans are going to hate it. Don't unsubscribe. Just hear me out. Right? So for bulking up, I know all about the superfoods. I go into health shops and people don't even know this shit. What I'm about to tell you, they don't even know this shit. The food health pyramids I talk about are not the ones you're seeing like in schools or something. Right, I'm talking about like really, really well orchestrated ones where they put like I have on Consciously a few on the website. I didn't make them. Some like health people did. And I remember one bodybuilder health guy made one and it was actually good, and he put foods closest to the sun like spirulina, goji berries, that stuff up the top as superfoods. Remember, psychedelics are god foods, so they like hover up and outside of the food pyramid. That's a different story, not this lecture. But yeah, this spot's a bit shadier, guys. I'm just rolling up into here. It's too intense. I've got to take my shirt off. Hold on the camera. Yeah, I'll put you guys on the camera in nature while I take my shirt off. How's that? And I'll even face it towards me for the ladies. How's that? Yes, I'm super stoned. I have what's called a shatter pen, and I'm fucking loving it. Medical, legal, shatter. Look how like it doesn't move. It's very viscous. I admit it, I'm high as fuck. But you can't drag me away, too bad. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, baby. Alright, sorry to flex. Sorry about the flexing. I'm pretty happy about my gym progress, so you know. I'm just going to tuck this in the bag and we can continue talking about this. It's a serious matter. Meatavore veganism. I feel a big lecture coming on. Because you might immediately laugh and go, what's the point of meatavore veganism? When you're trying to go vegan, you don't want to eat meat. You don't want to because you're all brainwashed. And you're doing mind over matter, which can be a good thing. Right? But I see a lot of brainwashing in it. Especially vegan for the animals. That's not even for you. Like that was the worst of the lot in my opinion. Yeah, so much empathy, whatever. Like everybody's just gonna stop slaughtering the cows because you went vegan for the animals. Like, how naive a movement was that? Come on, let's be real. and it was mostly, from what I saw, women and bitch men, right? If you go veganism, it's like, yeah, great, we do want to save animals. I'm not saying we don't want to save animals, but like that idea in itself it's flawed from the beginning. You're not even doing it for yourself, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't want to get into that right now. I did talk about some of that in some books. Anyway, Organic Portal's Handbook, I think I even mentioned, NPCs being in all species, so it depends which animal you kill even for karma and so on. Anyway, and we're not even doing that, and the Buddhists recommend don't kill an animal, but you can go with the begging bowl and you can receive pork. So I don't want to fucking listen to your shitty comments if they're doing that. So let's get, hey, fuck, we just stumbled on a fantastic segue. Monks. Nobody can say that they're not twisting their backs around trees at age 5 and punching through walls at age 10 and 20. You know what I mean? That's what these motherfuckers are doing up there. Training hard, man. Punching through bricks and shit, like meditating on their head, wrapping their kids backwards around trees, and they have to stay like that for half an hour. Right? These fucking Shaolin monks and all this. You've seen all the monk stuff. Very much mind over matter and all that, and yes, I'd say very spirited and so on. But my point was, even if they're going around begging for pork in the bowl, you can see meat-of-all veganism rearing its head. Gotcha. But you can see meat-of-all veganism, because what are they doing up there? They abstain from a lot of stuff, right? I don't think they even like kill their own cow and do it like that, or do something kosher or this or that, right? They just kind of go pretty much veganish and meditative, right? Some of them go there with no money, and they're like that style, right? It's the whole lifestyle of the monk, you know what I mean? Very abstaining and stuff. It's much more oriented towards veganism, right? Not necessarily they're all doing that. I'm not saying they're necessarily all doing that, but it's almost part of the deal, isn't it? When you think of that sort of thing. If you were to go away to like a monastery, you know what I mean? Well, if you're got any fucking brains, any complexity about you at all, you can see that's kind of part of the deal. Anytime I get away from, say I go on a holiday, I try and eat better. A lot of people go away and they'll eat worse. But I'm trying to get away, and because for me then it's a time of spending money. So I'm like, fuck it, let's spend it on the most important thing, the nutrition, so I don't end up fat and shit, you know what I mean? For nothing. So yeah, my point is like you can see. Let's backpedal and go away from that. What I was talking about. But it's true, like if I go on a holiday, I'll like focus on my food more, because I already know I'm in some new environment, so I'll go like straight and try and get the best, like it is expensive because they've rigged it that way now, but like the best sort of healthy food, you know what I mean? I don't just like go on a holiday and then it's all fast food and Coca-Cola and beer or something, you know what I mean? That's something I'll throw into the mix, like as a treat for the grind, where it can get grinded out and come out of the lymph system. Because I'm active as fuck all day. I'm very active. Always am. Always have been. But on a holiday, if you're going to sit around and get fat or something, it's the opposite. So it's meant to be like if you go away from the hive, you go to the high mountain, you meditate above the conscious grid of the people, you get on good food. And that good food, yeah man, because my signal, I'm uploading a video right now. Can you hear the plane? Oh, there it was. Gang stalking plane. Anyway, yeah, they check in for me. It isn't me just being weird. I know after 13 years. So what was I saying? Yeah, meat-of-all veganism, that's what I was saying. So, I've just found this to be like a way to bulk up and clean. There's another thing I've had for a while called stripping and building, another health theory I made, or philosophy, right? A health philosophy that I made. It's that you know, people, they go, oh, this food's good for this. If they've come to the point of targeting, fantastic. Most people don't even make it there. They just be eating willy-nilly, or protein. That's about all they know. Anyway, you get what I mean, because it's most people. So if they get to the point of targeting, this is for that ailment, yeah, fantastic. However, you could just be shoving a builder in when you don't have the ability to even absorb or accept that nutrient, because you're too clogged or something in that particular system, in that area, whatever. You get what I mean, right? So you've got to strip first, right? One way, a great example is if you want to really take care of your skin, you know, you strip it out first. You don't just add the good oils in. I remember Dr. Kazar from Earth Shift Products done really good skin cleaning videos, and I thought, well, there you go, he really does stripping and then building, like my philosophy. I was like, great, it's good to see someone actually doing that. Because, you know, the smoothie revolution is like great, right? And get your nutrition and explode the food, get the nutrition out, fantastic, right? But stripping and building, like you're not exactly, not everybody's doing a smoothie mindfully in that way, only building. You know what I mean? Like you got the typical bodybuilders doing fucking smoothies. And then there's oats as superfood when it's not even a superfood. Anyway, I don't want a tangent. You get what I'm saying? Stripping and building, right, is how you actually heal something. So de-inflammation marking, right, getting substance P down, getting histamine down, whatever. De-inflammation is part of your stripping. But then, after you want to build that area back up, you might add in some good oils and nutrients. You don't go straight for the nutrients and stuff. Funnily enough, yes, we can in nature, because nature has built its leaves and stuff to be strippers and builders at the same time, right? But generally in society, it's not like that, because we do extractions of single molecules from stuff and then put it in a cream where it's surrounded by something that stops absorption sometimes, like titanium in food, and or will drive you mad. Soft metals in you, anyway, misfiring your neurons and stuff. Anyway, I think a lot of people have that going on, by the way. Like, remember, we just had fillings. I don't think they do them anymore. I got glass fillings last time. So the old, what was it? Mercury, right? Is it mercury? Yeah, it was mercury fillings. Because it's the same stuff that you can accrete by eating too much tuna. And see, tuna's fantastic. So you might build your body with that. You're going to the gym every day, meat-avoring. But then at some point you're going to build up the mercury too much. Or the bloodlust from fucking red meat too much. You become a bit of a fucking bloodlust psycho if you eat too much cow meat. You know what I mean? You guys can feel all this. Different foods, different animals carry, you know, the chicken, so on, they all carry different energies, different molecules and stuff. You can become a little soft when you eat too much chicken from all that collagen, and it's a fucking chicken. They're chicken shit. You can feel the bad vibrations when you eat chicken most of the time. I doubt any of you are eating the best chicken ever. But yeah, if you can't, there's something wrong with you, because you're not sensitive like me, and I call you a spiritless human. Anyway, because I can feel all this shit, all the vibrations going on, food in the trees right now. Anyway, so my point is, what was it again? Stripping and building, right? But fuck, what else was I talking about? Oh, something just hit me big time there. Something just hit me big time. I just got blanked out. Oh, what were we talking about that for? Oh yeah, meat-avore veganism. Fuck's sake. Yeah, so veganism is the stripping. And it's a reset. You know, a lot of people see it as, I'm getting more nutrition, and you are. Because if you eat like a steak, you're getting less. If you were to pile up a bunch of hemp seeds, you'd be getting more out of the hemp seeds than you are out of the steak. nutritionally speaking. There's a wider diversity of stuff in there, molecules, you know what I mean? Each molecule having its own stuff it does, right? Its own actions and so on, its own health benefits. So yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Man, what is this sign? Saw that sign just before. Our dog's missing. Oh, poor little... A poodle pichoodle. Bro, pichoodle. They're making pichoodles now, everyone. I wonder if an eagle swooped him up. I always see the eagles looking at the little dogs around here like they would just love one. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, it's true. I always see the eagles like spy at the little dogs. Hold on. You know, when we see the strongest animals in nature, like some people might say, you know, the elephant is vegan, right? Which is a great example. Man, they eat a lot. A lot. Like, I've tried eating, I was going to say the greatest animals, you know, some fierce animals out there in this world are omnivore, right? But again, we don't want to get trapped under the animal bloodlust, like bestiality nature of it. So that's another reason to strip that energy by going vegan. Like right now I'm doing that this week. I've been bulking up for like 3 months. I'm buying celery every day now. Celery is a hell of a lot different than a chunk of meat. See what I'm saying? This is meativore veganism. Benjamin Kallenberg, Consciousine. I love it. This is an awesome lecture. Meativore veganism, the latest trend. But if you look at, I don't care if you guys do it or not. What I'm saying is if you look at nature, it's happening out there. I mean, with people, you know, naturally. I don't mean just throughout the animal kingdom. I mean, it's happening out there naturally with people, right? And a good example is that, like, you say you eat too much of one thing. Have any of you ever eaten steak? A red meat steak for 7 days in a row? I mean, I doubt it. I don't think I ever have. No, I don't think I've ever had steak 7 nights in a row. Right? You get sick of it, right, guys? Yeah, exactly. So, obviously we're omnivores. I mean, that is the complete argument when people say, oh, we're vegans, you know, or what's it called, herbivores. No, we're you know, carnivores. You know, and they have these big debates. A few years ago, that was what was going on. People were debating. I was like, what the fuck are you debating this for? It's right in front of your nose. We eat fucking whatever because we're concrescents. We're trying to get as much nutrition as possible and or, you know, get bigger or whatever as possible, right? So, I mean, like, people like arguing paleo diets and all this shit. Like, man, are you a fucking caveman? Anyway, you know, it's just weird to have people like try and theorize over reality. Oh damn, nice bum. Bum alert. Anyway, so you got it out, I'm looking. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so it's funny, people trying to theorize over reality. They're always organic portals. It's a type of frequency control. It's just like how you can't just speak your mind, or people get so offended, especially old ladies. You know what I mean? And why are they bending over in the G-strings? Come on now. That is just extra alluring. I'll keep that off the camera. Anyway, oh, there's actual waves. Look at this. There's some surf happening. There's a few waves about. It's peaking. See how the end of the wave's holding open? So you can actually ride it. It's not all just dumping at once. So I call it peaking. Yeah, anyway, what was I going to say? So stripping and building, right? Medieval, medieval veganism, because you want to build hard if you're building, right? In the gym, I'm there for 2 hours. It's a struggle to get through if I'm just eating celery. I'll be dead at the end if I just do that every day. Man, I won't be like able to do anything and function. So I have to go write a book after I do 2 hours at the gym and slaughter myself. Like, I work out properly, and so I slaughter myself until I'm finished on that machine when I feel like I'm finished. You know what I mean? Or that exercise, right? Usually, sometimes, you know, even I'm in a rush and I don't have a fucking job. It's amazing. God, I gotta look away from the bums. The bums out. Yeah, so I gotta write, and the brain takes, 30% of your body's energy, that type of stuff, right? So you might say, well, get some blueberries, Ben. That'll go straight to your brain. Indeed. I'm glad that you know certain foods go into certain parts of your body. That's good. Good for you. Something I teach, something I taught years ago. Certain foods go to certain parts of your body. Like blueberries, for instance, yeah, they go, and like vitamin, the yellow, like pigment vitamin A's and stuff, they go a lot to your face and stuff. And you can feel all this sort of stuff, right? Like, everybody knows that you eat a carrot for your eyes, right? So, look, my point is that targeting of food again, great. You're actually, you're somewhere, because everybody needs to become their own shaman, and for that you need to be targeting, making food your medicine, so that you don't wind up on harsher medicine, because harsher medicine can have side effects, right? So, point is to just try and do it with easy food, which is basically all food is like a tonic. It's something you look at it, like you get the hive reactions off people, man. It's crazy. Flicking their shit towards me, flicking their nervous systems all towards me like I done it, man. Anyway, yeah, man, and then fucking stand right in front of you. It's just good stuff. Some people have bull energy, right? Like cow meat energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people need to get more complex nutrition into them. That's all I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to say. The way we do this is, yeah, some people will shout out instantly, yeah, well, on vegan foods you get more nutrition. And I know, I understood that from studying as well. For instance, you take a chunk of meat instead, and it makes you feel really, really full. But if instead you ate a whole bunch of kale, for a bad example, let's just say you took a whole bunch of shots like rhodiola and licorice for your glands, and then you took some like coca leaf and CBD tincture for your immune system and metabolism, and you work your way through these medicines, right? I'm not even going to mention pills, supplements, because that's dead mashed together stuff. Talking proper medicine, which is always going to be alive stuff. And the best is obviously in liquid form, because liquid absorbs just like so quick, right? So the apothecary of the future, hopefully people fucking figure this shit out, but the only apothecary I ever went to did this. That's how I know it's the right way to do it, because I've been through it all, I've experienced it all. You get a shot, right? And in that shot, say, let's just pretend the shot was cannabis water, a cannabis drink. Right? They figured out how to make that. Where the fuck is that product, man? Why? Because 300 phytocannabinoids. That's why. 300. In meat, in that chunk of meat, instead of that shot of phytocannabinoids, like, there could be fucking 50, 100 in that strain, that particular strain of cannabis in that drink. Cannabis water, I'm suggesting. Yeah, let's make it, baby. It's going to be one hell of a healthy anti-inflammatory drink. Yeah, see, I give you guys business ideas. This is why I'm kept down, because if I ever get rich, I'm making a lot of money, because I'm going to be making like the best products imaginable. I'm not saying I'll make the best and other people can't. I've already found really good products in some places. over my life, but they're very, very rare. It's the least, not the majority, right? It's not the most common thing. Obviously the most common is sugar in a zillion forms on the wall, please buy, right? That's everywhere. Right? And then your pasta, your bread, and your meat, and your milk. You know what I mean? These very, very macro foods in the system that we have, right? So, I don't know, I just find it interesting. Like some people can't see the energy that they have, right? And it's you know, you are what you eat type of stuff going on. And so when I'm talking about meativore veganism, it's like cutting off the energy. Yeah, meativore veganism, baby. I can't wait to hear some of your people's reactions. It's going to be funny. But think about it. Because there's adrenochrome. I'm not saying kill babies, right? There's adrenochrome. There's heme iron, which I know some people have, you know, an inability to use in the body. But also, you know, I recommend it. Even like, you know, I used to try and treat some people with, what's it called? Anemia, right? And they have iron pills. And already I'm like, oh, it's a pill, right? You've mashed some iron into a dead thing, right? Not the best ever, right? It's got to be a liquid if it's going to be the best ever for absorbability and so on. Like, do you guys understand that you have a leukocytic reaction, a white blood cell reaction to anything that's not like raw and natural coming into your body? Because your body's like, hey, what is this? So you have a white blood cell reaction, and so you get inflammation as well. I mean, there's so many layers to why people are, like, you know, overweight in society. Well, not in optimum form, you know what I mean? Anyway, so meativore veganism is something that can keep you in optimum form. I'm not saying, hey, only paleo diet. I'm not saying only fruitarianism or monofruitarianism. I'm not saying just liquidarianism, or I'm not saying just veganism. I'm not saying just carnivorism, you know, I'm not saying just vegetarianism. But you'll notice vegetarianism is in between carnivore or meativore and veganism. So, I mean, when I say meativore veganism, it's really what we naturally do. Because after a week of eating steaks, I doubt any of you ever have, right? You don't eat steak every night, right? There's a reason for that. You get over it, don't you? Your body says, nah, don't need it, right? It's like, hey, what are you doing? Right? I think you feel a bit queasy or whatever, right? Well, then you start having your veganism, your celery or whatever it is, right? Switch to avocado if you really need that fat intake, right? Olives, avocado, right? The two out of all the fruits in nature, the two fatty fruits, and people are not on them enough. We're still based in meat. So if we get the things like the Nanochloropsis, which is, I believe, a phytoplankton, Nanochloropsis gaditana, there's like 10 phytoplanktons that we can actually use as humans that are really good for us. It's like spirulina and chlorella, how they're cyanobacteria. That's a different thing. But my point is, you know how they're like a algae looking thing? Everyone thinks they're like an algae or whatever. And you think, you know, it's like this phytoplankton. You think, you know, like it's like that type of thing. And essentially it's a bit similar, but it's not, because it's a cyanobacteria. But if you think about what I said earlier, everybody is eating a lot of sugar, which helps you digest, because we've got sugar bugs colonies. So if you switch to kombucha and kefir, you'd have kefir and kombucha colonies. Right? Have you seen kombucha? It's like a mushroom. It sits on top of the kombucha. It's like a mushroom thing. Instead of what we have is the epidemic of H. pylori coming about and candida. Everybody's got candida, right? As soon as you've got a stomach, you've got candida. It's an epidemic. So my point is, like, we can cut all the cycles and all the flows with veganism. That's how you use veganism, not just, like I mentioned, the seaweeds, the phytoplanktons, the cyanobacteria, which are very highly complex. Like, if you look at the assay, it's like hemp seeds has more in it than the gym, I was going to call it the gym douchebag bag. Sorry, I'm going to the gym. I just started, but you know, the space food, some people call it, like the powdered amino acid breakdown formulas, right? Hemp seed is better, and it's a whole food. My point is, that's also vegan. You got like 30 to 40% protein in hemp seed. So that is like, when you cook a steak, it's going under 20% protein. People are like, yeah, just get the protein. It's because the whole fucking thing is essentially that. So yeah, you're gonna get it in. But actually the actual percentage of the amino acids and stuff breaks down when you cook it. That's why people like, you know, medium rare steak, because you can feel the fucking difference, right? Energetically. And then also that adrenochrome, again, I'm not saying kill babies. Right? The whole spirit cooking thing they were doing, and that the elites doing all that. Sacrificing and all that. That's for, to get, you know, the spiritual essences like chi and stuff, prana, into adrenochrome, right? To make it more alchemical, which is just like you get a higher buzz, right? Not to mention, at that level you start to hallucinate, just like you can from fasting. You have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the movie, where he takes adrenochrome, but he takes too much. He takes way too much adrenochrome and he starts tripping. Well, you can do that just without eating. Stopping eating, you can have hallucination. What is a hallucination? It's a vision. People are, oh, you're hallucinating. Oh, fucking, I hope I'm hallucinating. All of culture is a mass hallucination. So people don't know what they're fucking talking about. That's why I laugh. You know, a way shower's words is 1,000,000 times stronger than the average NPC consciousness. That's all I gotta say. That's why you keep coming back to the videos. Because it's along the way, and all the peripheral stuff is like a waste of energy. Right? So for maximum energy efficiency, that's why you're here. A lot of you don't like me because I teach harshly. And it's fucking annoying to listen to. I would hate to listen to me. I would fucking hate to listen to me, but I revel in it, actually. When I have a harsh teacher, I know it's the best teacher. Like, you look at Shaolin monks tying their kids around a tree backwards, breaking their back for the next hour. They've got to stay holding their legs backwards around a tree. Man, is that boy gonna have a strong will force. He ain't gonna be no bitch man and grow up and be no bitch man in no feminized society, is he? He'll meditate his way out of that shit. They're the people we need. Like, we're feminizing society, pushing transgenderism. Oh, it's all okay. It's been funny as. Where's it all gone? Very fleeting. Yeah, let everybody have their freedom. That's all good. Embarrass yourself along the way. I don't care. That's on you. Anyway, so what I was saying was, you know, essentially my idea, my philosophy, which is a big one, as big as absorption is, because if you're eating something, if it's not absorbing, you just wasted energy. You had a leukocytic reaction, you caused inflammation, you clogged up your system. For what? Did you use anything like bread? The fuck are you taking from bread, man? That's why you eat bread for a week, see how you feel. Man, that's all you have to do with any food. If you question it, eat it for a week, see what it does. What, like goji berries gives you chi. You feel chi energy, and you'll feel overcharged if you just keep. You'll be bouncing around like a hummingbird if you just eat goji berries for a week. You would just be bouncing off the walls like you're on drugs or something, like you're on ecstasy or something, going nuts. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway. Stripping and building, my big philosophy is built into the idea of meativore veganism, right? It's built into it. Stripping and building, because with meativore, with the carnivorism, you do build. There can be no contestation to that. You can't argue. You start working out and you eat meat, you're gonna get a bigger body, and like rapidly. One advice some dude was saying in the gym was, I tell like young new people at the gym, yeah, one of the best ways to, because they always start like this anyway, one of the best ways to build is eating burgers and thick shakes, you know what I mean? To eat burgers and pizzas. Because you are going to the gym, and it's gonna, all that fat is gonna, be a type of energy, long burn, slow and stuff, but it's there like grunt and like talk in a way. That's what I mean. If I go vegan and work out, it's like a different, you don't have this talk and this grunt in the background. To put it in the car terminology or something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, meativore veganism. It's a good one, right? Press the like button. It's funny, but it's what we kind of naturally do anyway. Like I said, like if you eat a steak for 7 days, good luck. You're not going to eat steak every night. Even if you eat meat every single night, you start to feel it, right? You're like, oh, I feel like a fucking meathead, right? You start wanting the celery or the banana much more, you know. So I'm telling you, I'm setting off a trend here, meativore veganism. I'm setting it off. New trend. Well, all the rest is pale in comparison, especially all those paleo diet people turning pale. They look like they're dead on their feet. Good luck with the paleo diet, guys. It's the same with veganism, man. You can't maintain it. It's a reset. Veganism is meant to be a reset, a clean out. Yes, more complex building. So it is even part of the building. So yes, it's superior. You can even get protein from the veganism, right? Even jackfruit, right? You can get fats, right? Olives, the two, and now doesn't this bring there how much we should like love these two fruits, olive and avocado, the only two fatty fruits. They're the two fat ones you go to. They're the vegan, like, so what I used to do when I was going into veganism was I used to, like I mentioned earlier, I would regress onto the meat pie. I'd eat vegan for like maybe a couple of days. I'd be like, fuck man, I need to go for this big surf. I'm on the super bank. Snap at Akira, Gold Coast, Australia, bro. We're running up the beach, surfing kilometers down, running up the beach, doing this for hours. To do that on veganism was very difficult. I regressed onto meat pies. I would occasionally have some meat. This is where meativore veganism got born about 12 years ago, guys. I'm just finally bringing it out now. Are you all ready for it? Are you even ready for it now? Because I used to talk about this stuff and not even want to mention this because people were so tiptoeing around veganism. I don't give a fuck now, and that's all blown past, right? I won't have to put up with a million stupid comments. So it's blown, that energy's blown, that zeitgeist has blown past a bit. Anyway, that's a good example. It's a zeitgeist. It'll give you a new spirit to go vegan, right? Not to mention plant entheogens, which literally means plant spirit. Plant entheogens like ayahuasca with the DMT spirit molecule, just to name one. So anyway, veganism is a reset, right? So when I say meativore veganism, I'm just talking about mishmashing it for the optimum result. However, what I notice is you're gonna get trapped in cycles. That's why the veganism off the end there is such pure fucking genius. Because if any amount of meat and sugar starts to go together, if you start eating meat, you'll want sugar bacteria to break it down. They break it down better. You watch, start having kefir and kombucha with it. Kombucha will help more than the kefir because kombuchas leave a bit of sugar in their mixes so they can sell them at the shop. Otherwise it would taste sour if all the sugar was out of the mix. Bet you didn't know that. A lot of people don't know that. That's simple knowledge. Yes, I give consultations, remember, you cheapskates. $111 for an hour. So yeah, that's a good point. I might go chill out now. But yeah, so the veganism off the end is that cleaning or the stripping. However, it's also delivering nutrients, and it's also cycle cutting. It cuts the cycles, because as soon as you start eating meat, you're getting into a cycle. If you don't think you're getting worms from it and parasite reactions from it, definitely. Same with sugar. You should be able to feel this after the first week. Again, just do my 1 week formula. Want to figure out something, or figure out a food and how it relates to your body and your health, or your metabolism, this, that, or the other, your fat, whatever. Eat it for an entire week, check it out, see what it does to you. You don't think I've done that? Oh, I've done it. Man, I've had weeks of just mono sweet potato. Remember 2014 at that place, I was doing that with galangal. For like 2 weeks I had only tomato, galangal harvested from under my cabin, and which is like a ginger. It's basically the same as ginger. I've made that video already in the food plant teaching playlist. They're different, but it's very similar. It's called Zinger Bar. Anyway, that galangal, that Zinger Bar stuff with some garlic, my spice mix if I had it, and sweet potato and tomato, and that was it. So I had, my base food was the sweet potato. Again, if you're going to, alright, so I may as well give you something before I leave. So if you're going to replace meat, you're going to need some interesting and dense foods. And what I mean by interesting is they're going to have to be complexly novel, right? They're going to have to be something that you're targeting, a specific molecule that's targeting something to bring you to a higher state of health. Whether it be steviol from stevia, helping your Lyme disease. Good example, right? Targeting like that. Anyway, vegan substance, you get what I mean? Good example. So you're going to have your interesting substance, which is going to be like that vegan nutrition targeting substance, your medicine. And then you're going to need some bulking, because you don't want to end up gaunt, moody and vegan. Do you? Nobody, well, doesn't look like anybody wants to, guys. I see most people look the opposite way. So I'm just going to go off what I see in my reality and say no, most people don't want to end up gaunt and vegan looking, right? Hence meativore. You see what I'm saying? You build yourself up. Make sure you cut before you get the parasites from the meat, the psychosis from the meat, the animal lust from the meat, etc. Right? That killing urge, the hand stuff Osho used to talk about. You feel like killing shit. You feel like a tiger after you eat meat. Or what I mean is, if you eat meat, then not eat meat. Feel your hands. Osho said that. You know that guru, Osho? That Indian guy? He was a drunk guru, Osho. I liked him. He said something about that. Anyway, look, the point is, you want to cut, you want to cut that. But in my opinion, for optimum health, you're going to be intaking meat solely, if not for just the reason I mentioned earlier, for different nutrition, heme, iron, adrenochrome, stuff like that, in different superpositions of the molecule, different valency, different valence shells, energy states, etc. If not for that, right, you're going to be doing it for bulking, for not becoming gaunt, right? You know what I mean? Like, because we have to admit, like, you can get on sweet potato, right, and then quit all meat, and you're still going to have some bulking action. And then you can get on seaweed, do the same thing with some rice, become a sumo. That's too much rice, that flabbiness. But right, if you had the correct portion of rice, much less rice, much more proper seaweed, not shitty nori in, you know, what we have at the mall today, which is the crappy sushi. It should, again, it needs to be inverted. Like I've always said, it shouldn't be a steak with a sprig of parsley. It should be a bed of parsley with a sprig of steak. You see what I'm saying? Everything's inverted in organic portal world. So if it's not for those reasons, you know, the bulking up, the different nutrition from the meat, you know, you're doing it to differentiate at some degree, right? But if it's not for those reasons, it's because solely in society we simply don't have access to superfood. There should be a goji tree plant growing there, a goji plant growing there. There should be a hemp field over here, but it's not there. I can't go collect my hemp seeds, and that would be a process, right? So yeah, we've got that. We've got the hemp seeds at the supermarket. So that's one of the superfoods. It's a good one. I'm not dissing it, but we have lacking goji berries out there. They're dried, titanium covered to protect from the sun, UV light, blah blah blah. We're not doing it right, is what I'm saying. It's not fresh. It's gonna have to be fresh. That's why I keep talking about growing food plants everywhere. We all take care of the food plants everywhere, so that we all eat all the time, awesomely. The best ever, everywhere. See? So if it's not for those reasons, it's for the sole reason that our society just simply is not set up for us to be vegan. But that's why we're eating meat. That's why I'm recommending eating meat. If it's not for the bulking, the things you can't get, like the heme iron, you get a different type of iron in plant iron. Different people can't absorb that, just like some people can't use the heme iron from the animals. By the way, everybody's different, right? Something else the vegan movement left out. And on that point, we do have different blood types. They do aggregate differently due to different substances. I'm talking about platelet aggregation and all that, but not even just that. Alchemically, the energies are different for people's blood, and you're just going to need different stuff. Heme iron might work better for me than it does for you and your blood energy. See what I'm saying? Anyway, everybody's different. That's what I'm saying. So now back to my final point, was why you do want the meat there, because I have a lot of veganish friends from having a website called consciousazine.net at the end of history, the eschaton 2012, where the vegan movement was and really took its fucking hold, and besides the 60s, but if you understand the time wave zero, you know why there's a correlation in those time periods, right? Because of the compression of time. Anyway, so at the eschaton, right, there was love, psychedelics, and veganism. Veganism was there, guys. The oneness, the collectivism, and all that was there, right? We had veganism. So what I'm saying is, to those people, I saw a lot of you backpedal and become not vegan, right? Just like a lot of transgenders wanted to get their sex reversed again. They're like, fuck, why did I go transgender? Right? Same with a lot of vegans. They couldn't do it right because the society is not set up for it. And look, why are these people, man, like, they're listening and then they go like that with get me off their nervous system? Well, stop fucking listening, cunts. Concentrate on yourself. Fuck's sake, man, I get this all day. People spazzing around me, flicking off like their shit off their nervous system onto me because they're stiff on your and sinking to you. Get fucked. Sink to yourself. You got no inner rhythm or something. No wonder you look fucking like a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, so to my veganism friends, you know, some of the veganism people, they backpedaled, and good, you felt it. This is the point of having your own mental, spirit, light body and not being an NPC, thinking for yourself. Right? You felt it. You felt, fuck, this veganism is not working for me. I don't feel too hot. And you didn't feel too hot, so you stopped. Right? You weren't feeling the best. So that's my point. Right? I felt medivore veganism to be the deal. Doesn't mean you can't go monofruitarianism. Actually, that's what you're meant to do. Right? If you need extra cleaning, then you go into fasting. And you can go on monofruitarianism or liquidarianism. Yes, I've done them. Tried all this. I'm a big boy with the big belt. I tried it all for my own experience without reading books. And just going off someone else's idea or something, you know, off a video or whatever. So I recommend you do it yourself like that too. You're going to have to figure out your own body, your own lifestyle, and what you need to eat. Start with medivore veganism. Hang loose with medivore veganism. Because look, you want to build yourself up at points and you don't want to feel guilty and stuff, and you know that can have its own detriment on your consciousness, affecting your field, affecting how you grow, affecting human growth hormone production, everything, right? Fear turns off reception to higher light, etc. And it goes on. So my point is, like, why I added the meativore in there, because it's quite obvious, is because of all the vegan people who are now wondering what to do, and like, what does Ben do from consciousazine.net? Yeah, I'm on the meat. I'm on meat, but then I make sure to cut cycles. Right, make sure to cut the cycles. Like right now in my bag, if we look, I have hibiscus water. Yeah, I found hibiscus again. Diuretic, cleaning like hell. Man, that shit stains like beetroot. Antioxidant like heaven, I should say. Yeah, so my point is, right now in my bag I've got like the veganism approach. I've got nuts for my protein. I've been on meat for the last 3 months. Just protein, little whey protein, 30 gram protein per little drink. Whey protein, milk solid drinks and shit from the vending machine at the gym. Didn't even try the oat drinks, because yeah, they bulk you, they help. But because I'm like against oats a bit, because especially if they're not fresh, like, I mean, in a drink sitting there for ages, I don't know. I'm not looking for silica in that. I've got right now, for instance, my silica from, and in my bag we would see, and I just ate some before, celery, because I'm regrowing my hair, because I had a lot of stress from my situation recently, and my hairline was receding, and I'm working out hardcore and just doing protein. So my hairline receded. So now I've started grounding and putting in the nutrition, because I said, all right, enough's enough. I bulked my body. Look. I don't know what you can see, but I'm doing all right. It's a shitty view, I'll tell you what. I look way better in the mirror. But yeah, obviously, like, I'm healthy. I better put myself in just to show. Like, you cannot see very well at all. That's a horrible angle. Anyway, you can't really see, but my friend said to me, you're starting to look like you actually go to the gym. Right, because I'm pretty skinny traditionally. I'm real athletic body type. So now I'm stacking on weight via muscle, not weight, fat. You know what I mean? So I've been protein, learning that whole thing, the 100 grams a day protein thing. Sorry, just adjusting myself on international TV because I'm real. So, you know, I've been doing the whole protein thing. But look, I do that stuff to cut vibration. It's the same thing. You want to cut with veganism. It's a rebuilder, it's a stripper, and it's a cutter of cycles. Because they have such complex nutrition and so many cleaning molecules like saponins and tannins and antioxidants, diuretics like the hibiscus flower drink tea that I've got now going again, which is what I used to be on all the time with 20 teas hidden behind it because it's sweet. That's how I recommend you do it. Alright, that's the veganism portion. Well, it's not meat, it's fucking all leaves in a tea. So it's veganism. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying now? Your veganism doesn't even have to be a macro food. It can be a drink, a liquid. So you can meat, go to the gym, bulk up, become a meathead, and then you can start to integrate tea the next week. It's going to start to strip you a bit. You're not going to bulk up as much if you say you continued eating the meat, right? Because it's 20 teas, that's going to strip your ass. You're going to have so many stripping molecules in there if you do 20 different teas like I recommend. Can it be dangerous? Oh, don't get me started on this. That's way too big a consultation. It can be. I'm risky. I'm the guy who ate, you know, a handful of friggin' cloves and had heart arrhythmia. So I am a shaman, you know what I mean? Anyway, we'll end the video. At least someone's looking healthy, you know what I mean? They're looking pretty healthy, looking pretty nice. She's a bit skinny, but anyway, she could use more meativorism. The other one could maybe use more veganism. Right? We're only talking about balance here, aren't we? We're talking about balance, getting to optimum form via not just one route Because the way that can be spoken of is not unvarying. Taoist quote.